everyone, and welcome. So, if you've ever gotten tied up in knots of Spanish, I'm willing to bet it had something to do with this one little question. Where in the world do you put the adjective, right? It seems like it's always jumping around. But believe me, there's a secret logic to it. And today, we're going to crack that code for good. We're going to turn this thing that trips you up into one of your biggest strengths.
I mean, think about it. In English, it's a no-brainer. We say, a good friend. Easy. But in Spanish, suddenly it's not so simple. Do you say it the English way or the other way around? This one little phrase is a perfect example of what can make Spanish feel kind of tricky at first.
And here's the wild part. In Spanish, both are correct. Yeah, really. See, it's not random at all, it's a code. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. We're going to unlock the secret together. This isn't just about getting it right. It's about learning how to be way more expressive and precise when you speak.
Okay, first things first, we need a solid foundation, right? There is one single rule that covers you in most situations. Seriously, if you only remember one thing from all this, make it this one. We're going to call it the golden rule.
And here it is. Super simple. The default setting, your go-to move in Spanish, is to put the adjective after the noun. So you wouldn't say the red car, you'd say the car red. I know, it feels totally backwards to us English speakers, but trust me, this is the bedrock of the whole system. Let's see what that actually looks like. All right, check this out. We start with the noun, the thing, in this case, the house, and then we add the description, big. Noun first, adjective second. This is the pattern you're going to see over and over and over again. Let's do one more. The noun, the students, comes right before the adjective intelligent. Look, if you can just burn this noun plus adjective structure into your brain, you are honestly 80% of the way there. It's that crucial.
Okay, so you know how languages work, right? As soon as you learn a rule, you gotta learn the exceptions. But don't sweat it. There's a really small, totally predictable group of words that just love to break that golden rule. Let's go meet these rule breakers. Now, what's so cool about these guys is that they usually describe a really essential quality of something. Think good, bad, first. They're so fundamental that they get like VIP access to the front of the line, right before the noun. This is exactly why we say a good friend the way we do in Spanish. These are going to be the most common exceptions you see out in the wild.
And hey, here's a little pro tip for one of our rule breakers. The word for big or great actually gets a little haircut. It shortens when you put it before a singular noun. It's a tiny detail for sure, but man, it's one of those things that will make you sound so much more natural when you speak.
All right, now we get to my absolute favorite part. This is where Spanish gets really cool and clever. There's this special group of adjectives I like to call shapeshifters, because depending on where you put them, it doesn't just tweak the grammar, it completely changes what the word means. So here's the secret formula, and it's actually pretty simple. If you put the adjective before the noun, you're talking about a feeling, something subjective or figurative. But if you put it after the noun, you're stating a literal objective fact. Before is feeling, after is fact. Let's see exactly how this works. This example is just perfect. If you put the adjective before the noun, you're talking about a long-time friend. It's about the feeling, the history you have together. But if you put the adjective after the noun, you're just literally saying your friend is old. Totally different meanings, right? Just from moving one word. Here's another great one. If you say you have a nuevo coche with the adjective before, it just means the car is new to you. Maybe you just bought a used car. But if you say it with the adjective after, that means it's a brand new, 0 miles, fresh off the lot car. The placement tells the entire story. It's amazing. Okay, pop quiz. Based on what we just learned, how would you say a great man, talking about his character, versus a big man, just talking about his size? Think about it for a second. Got it? A great man is subjective, so it goes before. A big man is a literal fact, so it goes after. Phew. Okay, after all of those exceptions and mind-bending shapeshifters, you're probably ready for some nice, solid ground. Well, good news. There's a group of adjectives where the golden rule is absolutely unbreakable. They always come after the noun. 100% of the time. No exceptions. And here they are. Think of these as your anchors. Color, nationality, and shape. These guys will always, always, always come after the noun. You can totally count on it, which makes life a whole lot easier.
So for instance, you would just never say it the English way. It's always food, Mexican. The noun first, followed by the nationality. Simple, straightforward. Done.
And just to really hammer this point home, you would never say the White House the way we do in English. I know it can sound kind of poetic or something, but it's just plain wrong in Spanish. The only correct way is the house white. Color always, always comes after. Period. And there you have it. The golden rule, your rule breakers, the amazing sheep shifters, and the unbreakables. You've got the whole framework now. And look, this isn't just about boring grammar rules. This is a tool that lets you say exactly what you mean. It's basically your new Spanish superpower. So here it is, your cheat sheet for any time you feel stuck. Step 1, always start with the golden rule. Just put the adjective after the noun. Step 2, pause and ask yourself, wait, is this one of those common rule breakers? And finally, step 3, think about what you really mean. Is this a shapeshifter situation where the placement changes the entire story? Follow these 3 simple steps and you're going to nail it every single time. So, the code is officially cracked. From now on, when you're speaking Spanish, you won't just be guessing where to put adjectives. You'll be making deliberate choices to add meaning and color to what you say. So the only real question left is, what are you going to describe first?